Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chapter 2. Vidura Uvacha Bhave Shilavatam Sreshte Daksho Duhitruvatsalah Vidveshamakaro Kasmad Anadrityatmajam Satim. Vidura inquired, why was Daksha, who was so affectionate towards his daughter, envious of Lord Shiva, who is best among the gentle? Why did he neglect his daughter Sati? Kastam Charachara Gurum Nirvairam Shanta Vigraham Atma Ramam Katam Dveshti Jagato Daivatam Mahat. Lord Shiva, the spiritual master of the entire world, is free from enmity, is a peaceful personality, and is always satisfied in himself. He is the greatest among the demigods. How is it possible that Daksha could be inimical towards such an auspicious personality? Etadakyahi me brahman jamatuh shvasurasya cha vidveshastu yatah pranams tatyajedustyajan sati. My dear Maitreya, to part with one's life is very difficult. Would you kindly explain to me how such a son-in-law and father-in-law could quarrel so bitterly that the great goddess Sati could give up her life? Maitreya uvacha pura vishwasrujam satre sametah paramarshayah tata maragana sarve sanuga munayorgnayah. The sage Maitreya said, in a former time, the leaders of the universal creation performed a great sacrifice in which all the great sages, philosophers, demigods, and fire gods assembled with their followers. Tatra pravishtamrushayo drishtvarkamiva rochisha brajamanam vitimiram kurvantam tanmahatsadaha. When Daksha, the leader of the Prajapatis, entered that assembly, his personal bodily lustre, as great as the effulgence of the sun, the entire assembly was illuminated, and all the assembled personalities became insignificant in his presence. Udatishtan sadasyaste swadishnebhyas sahagnayah rute virincham sarvam cha tadbhasa kshipta chetasah. Influenced by his personal body lustre, all the fire gods and other participants in that great assembly, with the exceptions of Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, gave up their own seating places and stood in respect for Daksha. Sadasaspati Bhardraksho Bhagavan Sadhu Satkrutah Ajam Loka Gurum Natva nishasada tadagnyaya. Daksha was adequately welcomed by the president of the great assembly, Lord Brahma. After offering Lord Brahma respect, Daksha, by the order of Brahma, properly took his seat. Prang nishannam mrudam drishtva namrushyattadanaadhritaha uvacha vamam chakshurбhyam abhivikshadahanniva. Before taking his seat, however, Daksha was very much offended to see Lord Shiva sitting and not showing him any respect. At that time, Daksha became greatly angry and his eyes glowing. He began to speak very strongly against Lord Shiva. Shruyatam brahmarshayo me Sahadeva sahagnyayah sadunam bhruvato vrittam najnananna cha matsarat. All sages, brahmanas and the fire god present, please hear me with attention, for I speak about the manners of gentle persons. I do not speak out of ignorance or envy. Ayam tu lokapalanam yashognyo nirapatrapaha sadbhiracharitah panta yena stabdena dushitaha. Shiva has spoiled the name and fame of the governors of the universe and has polluted the path of gentle manners. Because he is shameless, he does not know how to act. Yesha me shishyatam prapto yen me duhituragrahit panim vipragni mukhatah Savitriya iva sadhuvat. He has already accepted himself as my subordinate by marrying my daughter in the presence of fire and brahmanas. He has married my daughter, who is equal to Gayatri, and has pretended to be just like an honest person. Gruhitva mrugasha panim markatalochanaha pratyutthanabhivadarhe vachapyakrutanochitam. He has eyes like a monkey's, yet he has married my daughter, whose eyes are just like those of a deer cub. Nevertheless, he did not stand up to receive me, nor did he think it fit to welcome me with sweet words. Lupta kriyaya suchaye manine bhinna setave anichannapyadam balam shudraye voshatim giram. I have no desire to give my daughter to this person who has broken all rules of civility. Because of not observing the required rules and regulations, he is impure, but I was obliged to hand over my daughter to him, just as one teaches the messages of the Vedas to a Sudra. Pretavaseshu ghoreshu pretairбhutagaнаirvrutaha atatyunmattavannagro vyuptakesho hasanrudan chitabhasmakrutasnanaha pretasangrithisushaha. Pretasangan rasti bhushanaha chitabhasmakrutasnanaha. प्रेतसङ्गन् ग्रस्तिभूषणः शिवापदेशो हृषिवो मत्तो मत्तजनप्रियः पतिः प्रमथनाथानां तमोमात्रात्मकात्मनाम् प्रेतसन् रस्थिभूषणः. He lives in filthy places like crematoriums, and his companions are the ghosts and demons. Naked like a madman, sometimes laughing and sometimes crying, he smears crematorium ashes all over his body. He does not bathe regularly, and he ornaments his body with a garland of skulls and bones. Therefore, only in name is he Shiva or auspicious. Actually, he is the most mad and inauspicious creature. Thus, he is very dear to crazy beings in the gross mode of ignorance, and he is their leader. Shiva Shiva. Tasma unmadanataya nashtashochaya durhrude datta bhatamaya sadvi chodite parameshtina. On the request of Lord Brahma, I handed over my chaste daughter to him, although he is devoid of all cleanliness and his heart is filled with nasty things. Maitreya uvacha vidindyaivam sagirisham apratipamavastitam dakshotapa upasprushya kruddha shaptum prachakrame. The sage Maitreya continued, thus Daksha, seeing Lord Shiva sitting as if against him, washed his hands and mouth and cursed him in the following words. Ayam tu deva yajana indropendradibhirbhavaha sahabhagam na labhatam devairdevaganadhamaha. The demigods are eligible to share in the oblations of sacrifice, but Lord Shiva, who is the lowest of all the demigods, should not have a share. Nishidyamanasa sadasya mukyair daksho giritraya visrujya shapam tasmad vinishkramya vivruddhamanyur jagama kauravya nijam niketanam. Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, in spite of the respects of all the members of the sacrificial assembly, Daksha, in great anger, cursed Lord Shiva and then left the assembly and went back to his house. Vijnaya shapam girishanugagranir Nandishwaro rosha kashaya dhushitaha Dakshaya shapam visasarjadarunam ye chanvamodam tadavachyatam dvijaha. Upon understanding that Lord Shiva had been cursed, Nandishwara, one of Lord Shiva's personal associates, became greatly angry. His eyes became red, and he prepared to curse Daksha and all the Brahmanas present there who had tolerated Daksha's cursing Shiva in harsh words. Ya etan martyamruddhishya bhagavatya pratidruhi. ये य एतन्मर्त्यमुद्दिश्य भगवत्यप्रतिद्रुहि द्रुह्यज्ञः द्रुह्यज्ञः द्रुह्यत्यज्ञः पृथग्दृष्टिस्तत्त्वतो विमुखो भवेत्. Anyone who has accepted Daksha as the most important personality and neglected Lord Shiva because of envy is less intelligent, and because of visualizing in duality will be bereft of transcendental knowledge. गृहेषु कूटधर्मेषु सप्तो ग्राम्यसुखेच्छया कर्मतन्त्रं वितनुते वेदवादविपन्नधीः. Pretentiously religious householders' life, in which one is attracted to material happiness and thus also attracted to superficial explanation of the Vedas, robs one of all intelligence and attaches one to fruitive activities as all in all. बुद्धया पराभिद्यायिन् या विस्मृतात्मगतिः पशुः स्त्रीकामसोत्वतितरां दक्षोभस्तमुखोचिरात्. Daksha had accepted the body as all in all. Therefore, since he has forgotten the Vishnupada or Vishnugati and is attached to sex life only, within a short time he will have the face of a goat. Vidya buddhira vidyayam karma mayyamasau jadaha samsarantviha ye chamum anusharvavamaninem. Those who have become as dull as matter by cultivating materialistic education and intelligence are nascently involved in fruitive activities. Such men have purposely insulted Lord Shiva. May they continue in the cycle of repeated birth and death. Giraha Shrutaya Pushpanya Giraha Shrutaya Pushpinya Madugandhena Bhurina Matna Chonmatitatmanaha Sammuhantu Haridvishaha. May those who are envious of Lord Shiva, being attracted by the flowery language of the enchanting Vedic promises, and who have thus become dull, always remain attached to fruitive activities. Sarvabhakshadvijavrutyayir Dhrutavidyatapovrataha Vittadehendriya Rama Yachaka Vicharantviha. These Brahmanas take to education, austerity, and vows only for the purpose of maintaining the body. They shall be devoid of discrimination between what to eat and what not to eat. They will acquire money begging from door to door simply for satisfaction of the body. Tasyaivam vadata shapam shrutva dvijakulaya vai bhruguh pratya srujachapam brahmadandam duratyayam. When all the hereditary Brahmanas were thus cursed by the Nandishvara, the sage Bhrigu, as a reaction, condemned the followers of Lord Shiva with this very strong Brahmanical curse. भवव्रतधरा ये च तान् समनुव्रताः पाषण्डिनस्ते भवन्तु सच्चास्त्रपरिपन्तिनः. One who takes a vow to satisfy Lord Shiva or who follows such principles will certainly become an atheist and be diverted from transcendental scriptural injunctions. Nashta shaucha moodadhiyo jata bhasmasti dharinaha vishanto shivadikshayam yatra daivam surasavam. Those who vow to worship Lord Shiva are so foolish that they imitate him by keeping long hair on their heads. When initiated into worship of Lord Shiva, they prefer to live on wine, flesh, and other such things. Brahma cha brahmanamshchaiva yadhyuyam parinindhata setum vidharanam pumsam atah pashandamashritah. Bhrigu Muni continued, since you blaspheme the Vedas and the Brahmanas, who are the followers of Vedic principles, it is understood that you have already taken shelter of the doctrine of atheism. Yesha eva hi lokanam Shivah panta sanatanaha yam purve chanusamstastur yat pramanam janardhanaha. The Vedas give the eternal regulative principles of auspicious advancement in human civilization, which has been rigidly followed in the past. The strong evidence of this principle is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is called Janardana, the well-wisher of all living entities. Tad Brahma Paramam Shuddham Satam Vatsa Sanatanam Vigarhyayata Pashandam Daivam Vo Yatra Bhutarat. By blaspheming the principles of the Vedas, which are the pure and supreme path of the saintly persons, certainly you followers of Bhutapati, Lord Shiva, will descend to the standard of atheism without a doubt. Maitreya Uvacha Tasyaivam Vadata Shapam Bhrugosa Bhagavan Bhavaha Nishchakramatata Kinchit Dvimana iva sanugaha. The sage Maitreya said, when such cursing and counter-cursing was going on between Lord Shiva's followers and the parties of Daksha and Bhrigu, Lord Shiva became very morose. Not saying anything, he left the arena of the sacrifice, followed by his disciples. Tepi vishwasrujas satram sahasra parivatsaran Samvidhyaya Maheshvasa Yatrejya Rushabho Harihi. The sage Maitreya continued, O Vidura, all the progenitors of the universal population thus executed a sacrifice for thousands of years, for sacrifice is the best way to worship the Supreme Lord, Hari, the personality of Godhead. Aplutyavabhrutam yatra Ganga Yamunayanvita Virajenatmana sarve Swam swam dhamayayustataha. My dear Vidura, carrier of bows and arrows, all the demigods who were performing the sacrifice took their bath at the confluence of Ganges and the Yamuna after completing the yajna performance. Such a bath is called Avabhruta Snana. After thus becoming purified in heart, they departed for their respective abodes. Thus ends the chapter entitled Daksha curses Lord Shiva. हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे।